Okay, we're live. We're live. We're live. We are alive. We should be celebrating every day that we're above ground anyway. So we're alive and we're alive. I am one of your hosts. I am here with the beautiful Vivakolor, aka Alecia. And my name is Peter Lloyd. And this is He Said, She Said. Today's topic is how many days before loyalty? It's a pretty interesting, you know, I know that you're ready, you have your weapons, some of my brethren who said they were gonna stop by. Um I found this to be a very, very interesting sort of topic because I didn't realize that there's so much data
Hmm.
on this topic, because the truth is, Jamaicans don't date much. Jamaicans don't date much in the traditional first world sense of, dating. Like we don't really, our thing is, I meet you, I like you, we sleep together. You're my woman. That's,
I think that's the best dating ever.
you think so?
I think
Yes.
yes. I think in that sense, Jamaican men are like very mature. They know what they want and they just go for it, and that's it. There's no playing games in the beginning.
Well, I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying. I mean, there's a lot of logic to what you're saying.
Hmm.
But I've always, because I didn't grow up. I mean, I think my parents dated. I mean, I wasn't around, and I was told about bicycle rides with my mom and the bar, had a bar, and they go to the movies and stuff like that. I was told about that. Um, but I think this generation of men, until we go into a first world environment, we don't date in the traditional sense of the term date. Like how you first world as date. I mean, you literally, how would I put it? You literally, I someone sets me up with you, and we meet and we go out and we sit down and we eat or whatever, and then we decide, do I like you, or that kind of stuff. But remember, because of all these first world rules, I mean, your rules are different.
Hmm.
I want to put it at that. Your rules are kind of different. Our rules are not, like I said, Jamaican men. What we do is, I see you, I like your body, you look good, you know. Um, if I know someone who knows you, I might say, "What's her name?" Or I just step up to you right there and then. I mean, we are the men in New York who we're gonna holler at you.
Hmm.
I mean, that's just it's our culture. It's very different. And I see women complaining about that, but then how do I meet you? What I mean? If I don't say something, what happens?
Right.
And I think women only complain if the man who's hollering at them is not what they're attracted to or what they think is
Sometimes.
good, right?
Yeah, that's true. They're not. They don't like them. They're like, oh, why is
Yeah,
he trying to get at me?
which is kind of hypocritical. I mean, I think we should be commended just for trying.
I
You
mean,
know,
that's something that women have to learn. We can't control who likes us.
right.
You
Yeah, I
know,
mean, but why would you get all dressed up and dolled up and you look all hot and nice and and sexy? I mean, aren't you? I mean, aren't you hoping at some point in the subconscious that the guy that you would like to be with is going to holler at you, is going to see you and say, "Hey, you look good," or something like that. I mean,
you said something significant. You said the guy that you would like to be with, not the ones you don't want to be with.
but how do we know? I mean, we're not going to know. We're just going to be trying.
You don't know. You
Yeah,
you just it is what it is. You don't know. You're just hoping that it's the one that you kind of like.
yeah,
As the cat. The cat. What is it? Cat talking.
yes, yeah. But I mean, look, the truth is in the concept of dating, right? Um, we are supposed to step to whoever we find attractive. I mean, I think as long as we don't grab you or we don't get that way, because we have to say something. Um, and I think that's the difference between a country like Jamaica, which I think is first world in our own way, and a
Mhm.
country like where you're at, like the US, these dating rules get very, very confused and very strange and very, very different, because if I see you on the road and you're wearing a really short shorts, one of those summer shorts, and a nice, short top, cropped top. My daughter taught me that, right? Is that correct? A cropped
Yes,
top,
good
right?
talk.
And, you're looking, you're looking good, and I'm probably never ever going to see you again ever in life. I think, I mean, as a West Indian man, a Jamaican man, I'm going to say, hey, you look nice,
Hmm.
having a good day, you know, can I holler at you? And I never understand how women get offended by that because I'm like, but what are we supposed to do?
See, I don't understand why women get offended by that. I mean, enjoy it while you're young, enjoy a man saying, "Woo, girl, you look nice," because when you get older, it changes.
Yeah.
I don't know
Does it?
why some get that. I disagree. I don't know why women get worked up and mad about that.
Yeah. It's kind of confusing because I guess what it is I got to be careful how I say this, right? I think our women are a little less materialistic than women in first world environments. Because I find women in first world. Okay, I had an experience years ago. I was in LA doing some work years ago, and I was staying by a friend of mine, and he had a Porsche 911 Classic red drop top and a couple other vehicles. And I was going to the gym, and I said, "Yo, can you drop me to the gym?" Because I'm just staying by his place. And he said to take one of the cars. I don't care. It's four cars. Take the Porsche. And I'd gone to the gym a couple of times before, and there was this girl that I liked. And saw her, looking at me, kind of stuff. And I was trying to build up that courage to go over to her and say, "Hey, my name is Peter," kind of thing. And I pulled up, parked, and she saw me get out of that Porsche. And she walked right over to me. "Hi, my name is so and so." And I was like, "Okay, all right, all right." I kind of think our women here in Jamaica, I'm not saying that, okay, I'm not saying they're materialistic in that sense, but I think it's kind of more, the vibe, if you click with the person kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's why I found this like really, really interesting because I was saying, okay, we in Jamaica don't really date. You date. So let me ask, how many dates do you think? I mean, at what point do you think you and a guy are going out together and you now start expecting him to be loyal?
I say up to 5 dates.
5 dates. Why
Up,
5 dates?
up to five. I think by the on the first date, you ask questions. You say, "What are you looking for?" And if he tells me I'm looking for a relationship, then I'll proceed if that's what I'm looking for. But if he says he's not looking for a relationship, then I know how to
Yeah.
navigate that. But if he
Right.
tells me that he's looking for a relationship, I don't see why it would take more than 5 dates for him to say, "Okay, I want to be with this person." After the first date, unless he tells me on the first date that he doesn't like me or he doesn't call me back the second date. But if he
Yeah.
calls me the second date and the third date, it should not take more than five.
But
And
why does? But I'm just saying, why that specific like number though? Because that's the thing that freaked me out when I was doing the
because,
research for this.
okay, for example, the reason why I set up to 5 days, if you go out at least once a week,
Yeah.
that's 4 times for the month. So
Right.
that's 1 month.
Right.
And then the fifth time you go out is into the next month. So by a month and a half, you should know that this is the person, this is somebody that I would like to continue dating. So let me be loyal.
That's, okay. That's a very interesting perspective because I think. I mean, look, I'm not going to reference myself as a first world male, but I've lived in many first world countries, right? And I think most of the men I know, there are any men out there, please, I need your assistance at this point. I kind of think with most men, if we see you physical, men are physical.
Mhm.
Men, we're not going to look at you and say, "Oh my goodness, what an amazing personality." I
Of
mean,
course
I'm
not.
going to look at you and I'm going to go, "Bam!" I mean, I, I think for most men, um, we're going to be attracted to you immediately. Now, I suspect it's the same thing for you women. You're just not honest about it, right? But I think for us as men, that concept of loyalty though is kind of, I should ask, what do you mean by loyalty?
Well,
What?
loyalty is if you're not seeing anyone else, you're just seeing that one person. And that's another thing too. I noticed that a lot of people, when they're going out, they see multiple, they circle a date by seeing multiple people at one time to see who they really like. Now think
Yeah,
about that.
yeah,
That's like trying to watch 5 different movies at the same time. How are you gonna connect? How are you gonna connect to the movie? At the end of each movie, you're gonna be like, what was that movie about? You can't possibly connect. So if you're dating 5 different women at the same time, how are you gonna connect with one?
yeah. But okay, but you see, you made a very sexist assumption there. Okay, because I know women do the same exact thing.
And this
Women
is
do.
no, but Twitter is the same thing. They can't connect.
But maybe one person is giving you one thing at that point in time, like, okay, um you know let's say I'm dating you and I'm dating Sandra, and you give me that, that mental boost. You are intelligent and sweet and beautiful and lovely, and Sandra's just great in bed. I mean,
How do you know that other person won't give you that if you're so obsessed with Sandra?
no, but maybe what's happening is that, I mean, in that case, if I'm dating you and I'm dating Sandra, I'm not people. I'm not saying I do this. All right? I'm just making saying what I'm saying. But if it's a situation where, hey Nadira X, Birds, what's going on? Jaden, what's going on? How y'all doing? Thanks for stopping by. Um, if it's a situation where I am dating Sandra, and we're just knocking boots, we just, half on a baby kind of thing. We're just doing our thing. We have a great sexual chemistry, and it's just wonderful. I like her, but it's really about the physical chemistry. And I meet you, and there's something about you intellectually that I'm like, I see some potential here. I kind of think it's fair for me to keep seeing Sandra because I don't want to break her heart. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hurt her.
No.
Why? No, just hear me out. Hear me
Mm-mm.
out. Hear me out. I keep seeing Sandra, right? I start seeing you. Just follow me. Just follow what I'm saying. I start seeing you. All right. I start seeing you. I'm seeing, you know, Sandra. And then maybe I meet Sylvia, or Cynthia. And I'm because I'm trying to, it's like you're window shopping. This is how I'm thinking of it. Yes, it's like you're window shopping. It's like when women want to get a pair of shoes, I guess, and you walk in and you just say, um, what? Nadira says, sound like wanting the cake and thing.
Right, because we're not material items.
No, no, no. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying if within 5 dates, I mean, I'm already seeing Sandra. I've met you. I've met Cynthia, right? Um, I think it's okay. It's okay to be, nice. To just say, hey,
I have a question, Peter.
yeah.
So, are you willing to be honest with all three? To say, okay, I'm over here sleeping with Sandra, but I like your personality over here. And
Yeah.
Sylvia, let's see where this goes.
I am willing to do that. Oh, Vern's Junk Closet. Thank you so very much for the super sticker. Thanks, sis. Thank you so very much.
Vera
Thank
says
you,
that's a
sweetie.
no for me.
All right. Vern says dating without sex or not. Okay, see, that's a good question. That's a good question, right? I kind of think because men are designed different from women. It's not that we're going to be deceptive, but we want an opportunity to see where all three women would lead before we leave the situation and choose one.
It goes back to what I said before. How can you connect with any one of them if you're over here messing with that one, this one, or that one? Where's the connection?
Because you're connecting with each person in a different way. You're connecting with one person, in a physical or sexual way, right? I mean, you guys just have great sexual chemistry.
It sounds
You are.
confusing. It just sounds like the person will just be confused. They don't really know what they want. They think they want that person, and then on Wednesday they want that person, and then Friday they just want that. I think it's just some men just want the best of both worlds. That's it.
All right. Vern's John Closet is asking if we're talking about dating with sex or without or not.
Well, that's a good question too, because it depends on what. For me, it would depend on the questions that I asked the guy on the first date.
So, okay, give me an example of what kind of questions you would ask.
I would feel him out. Or do you want a relationship? If he says, let's see where it goes, then
Yeah.
I know that's a red flag. That's somebody who's just trying to have sex and not serious about anything. And then I would cancel him out if I'm looking for a relationship.
All right. Nadira says, "No, Peter, you're wrong, buddy." Nadira, I'm just representing men in general. Okay, I'm not saying I would do this. I'm just speaking as on the behalf of some of my brothers. And she said nobody wants to be an option. That's no for me. I kind of get that, but I'm saying, and that's what I meant. That's what I meant when I said Jamaican men. Traditionally here in Jamaica, we don't really do the date thing. It's like I see you and I like you,
Yeah.
and I go at you. When I first moved to New York, I was confused because um, I was dating two girls in the building, and then I met this girl. No, just don't laugh at me yet. I mean, come on. I mean, I just landed there. I was there for like a couple of weeks. They met me. They heard the Jamaican accent, and they just love the accent. You know what I'm talking about. And one was Puerto Rican, the other one was Dominican. And then there was this Jamaican girl, but that couldn't work because she was like, Jamaican women are kind of assertive and I don't want to say aggressive. So I was learning this process of dating that you expected us to go out. You'd ask me certain questions. I'd ask you certain questions. It was explained to me that when the girl gets to the point, when the girl or the man gets to the point where they now take it to meet their friends, and then to meet that means that you're getting to different levels in the relationship. But we don't. Hold on there. Nadira says, Peter, how you move so loose back in the day, man? No, I wasn't, sis. I just gotten to New York, right? And and I met this girl in the elevator, and I don't remember what I did, and she heard the accent, and she said, I like Jamaican guys, and I'd love to meet a Jamaican guy and stuff. And then she invited me to the movies. I even remember the movie going to see. It was a Star Wars. And we hung out and came back. And then one day I was in the park because it was in Jersey, and there's a park across the road. And I went to the park, and then I met this other girl. She was fine, and she said, "Hey, you want to go to the movie?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah." So I mean, I don't think I was doing anything wrong. I was just figuring out my options, and that's what I'm saying. You say,
I
what
mean,
should the man?
in that sense, you weren't doing anything wrong because you didn't agree to be an exclusive.
No,
These are the
no.
conversations that what I'm saying is by the time why I say up to 5 dates is because by the time you get up to 5 dates, you're gonna start to know if this person wants to be exclusive with you or not. You should know based
Mhm.
on what they talk, if they call you, they take you out. These are the things that women look for, the actions in
Hmm.
men.
Okay, I get that. I get that. I guess you see what Nadia was saying. Man's a player, man. Nadira, come on. Look, I'm just saying it might be a culturally different thing. It
Yeah.
might be because of the culture. The cultures are very different. But I do understand the concept of dating. I think what you said initially was that made sense to me was okay, what is the purpose of the date?
Right.
Is it that you're at a point now where you've been seeing other people, then you're like, none of these people are who I want. I want to get into something exclusive. So you're saying that on that first date, would you say to the man, "Hey, I want to get to be exclusive. This is what I'm working towards."
Right. I would say I am looking for a relationship.
But you're a very attractive woman, so any man is going to say he's looking for a relationship too.
Right. That
That's
and
the
that's where
thing.
they get tricky. They will say yes, but then by date number two, by date number three, and their behavior, you know if they're honest or not. You listen to what they say and their actions, see if it matches up. That's how men give themselves away.
Okay, 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 okay. But what if I meet you, for instance, and I'm attracted to you? It's a real attraction, right? Um, but it's physical. So I said, I'm going to go out with her a few more times and see how this works, right? So if say date one, do we kiss at the end of the date, or date two, or it depends on the chemistry or how you feel.
Depends on the chemistry.
So if the chemistry is right on date one, we can actually have sex.
No,
But okay, I'm just trying to understand why. Why not?
no.
I'm just asking.
If that's what you're looking for, I wouldn't be looking for that.
Yeah.
It all depends on what the person is looking for.
I think most men, that's really what we're looking for.
Oh yeah, most men,
I
all
think so.
men. That's it. Immediately,
No,
what?
I'm not gonna say all men,
All men, all
No,
men,
some of
all
us,
men. That's all they see.
that's a very sexist statement.
Before the first date, they want sex. Before the date even started.
I mean, no, I have to defend my brother. I have to defend my brother because I don't think we're all like that. I
There's a
kind of
man in
think,
here.
huh?
I think this isn't there a man in here, Jaden? Someone
Yeah,
in here?
Jaden. I
Um,
well, listen. This is my thing. I'm just saying. Okay, we're going to be attracted to you physically because the truth is, if I think most men, if they meet you, unless they're from Mars or somewhere, most of us, if we meet you and what we see physically doesn't grab us, doesn't appeal to us, right? It's not going to work. So the truth is, on the first date for most men, I think we're kind of seeing how far you let us go.
right, and that's I understand that because the attraction is immediate, but
Right.
then you get to the emotional connection, And what I'm saying is, it's hard to get to that connection if you're over there dating so many people. I used to think that back in the days that it was okay to date a lot of people, but then
Right.
I realized that I
Oh,
can't.
stop. Can you repeat this for everybody who's listening?
I used to
You,
think that back in
right.
the day,
So
not
you
now.
you used to do that back in the day.
I I used to think that. No, I used
No,
to
no,
think
no, no,
that.
no. Those are two different statements.
No,
Did
I
you
used
used
to
to
no,
do
really,
it?
I would tell women, you got to date other people while
Right.
you're dating him. I would
Right.
tell women that. But
Okay.
then I kind of read some more books and I
Yeah.
realized that it's hard to connect with one person if you're really looking for a substantial relationship if
Mhm.
you're dating too many men at the same time. And when I mean date, I'm not saying have sex with them. You're
Yeah.
just
You
going
be
on a
just
date with
going
this
out.
one. If you don't get John, you go on a date with Carlos or,
Mhm.
such and
Yeah.
such.
Okay. All right. Maybe I should ask this. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and ask this question. All right. I can concede that most of us as men, most, not all, our attraction to women is normally physical initially. It's initially physical. I mean, I've heard of a few cases where a man and a woman knew each other for a very long time, and then something happened, and then suddenly they realized that they were attracted to each other. That has never made sense to me, but I guess it's not impossible. What is it that women then are looking for in that situation?
A provider, um, someone who they can see themselves with a life partner, nice personality, chemistry, those things. That's what we look for.
So no physicality, no physical.
That can come after. I mean, yeah, you look at a guy, you're like, yeah, he looks good.
Yeah.
But women can overlook the looks. If he has like a good job, he's smart, he takes care of the house and stuff like that. He's good with kids. We can overlook the face if it's
So
not too bad.
so the purpose of dating for most women then is to look a husband. That's basically what you seem to be saying.
Most women, it's to look a partner. Yeah.
Yeah. And the purpose I think for most men is to have sex.
Amen.
I'm not gonna say all. Not gonna do that.
I want you to
That's
do
a
a poll.
terribly sexist thing to
I want you
say.
to do a poll. No, they're not gonna say, "Oh, I need her because she could take care of the kids and the house." No, he's gonna be like, "I want to bang her."
No, I mean, bang might be harsh, you know. I'd say I'd like to experience her, you know, land of paradise, kind,
Yeah,
something,
yeah.
something a little nicer than that. But it's it's kind of the same. I'm just saying the approach is almost from two because I have a very close male friend, right? And when he was approaching 30, he just came to me and said, I'm ready to get married. I want to get married. So if you know any girls, and I said, what do you mean you want to get married? She said, look, I'm 29 and I don't want to get to 30 without being married. And 6 months later, I introduced him to a friend of mine. And 6 months later, they were married and it didn't work.
Maybe at the time he was, being mature and he was looking for security.
Right.
When men get older, they need security.
Yeah. What kind of security do we need?
A woman. That's the first thing that's the reason why men get married, for security.
I think men get married because they love the woman, because they realize that
but
this
security
woman
is the number one. If for men to choose the woman that they marry, they look for the one that would bring them the most security.
You mean emotional security, financial security,
all types of security.
That's interesting.
A man might date a woman. If you say you're dating two different women,
right,
and it comes down to the one woman that you're going to marry.
Right.
For a man, they're going to look at the woman that won't kick them out when they make a mistake. They know Tracy over here might kick me out anytime because she's a loose cannon.
Right.
But Sarah over here, she's going to take her time with me and patience. So they look for the one that brings them the most security.
That's brilliant, but I mean, talking to most of my male friends, I'm not sure if we go that deep. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think you guys know that that's what you're looking for. But when you decide to marry a woman, that's what's in your head. But you don't know. You guys might not know how to articulate it at the moment, but that's the main thing.
So therefore, the dating process then would be a matter of where my head is at versus where your head is at that point in time. Right. So if I'm at like I was back in the day as a teen, I'm in New York, I'm meeting all these hot Hispanic women, and I'm like, yo, I've never been with a Hispanic woman before. I mean, I wasn't at the point where I was thinking, oh, this is the person for me. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So you're saying that basically what you seem to be saying is that for the woman it would be the fifth date, but for the man it might be anything. It might just be, where we're at mentally at that point, or if like my friend, who just got up and said, "Hey, I'm almost certain I'm going to get married," and I said, "What the hell?" Because I'm a romantic, so I kind of think, you should fall in love, and and I know that might sound strange because women think men have no feelings, generally.
I believe that too, Peter. I believe that when you meet somebody, you want to fall in love, but in 2021 with this dating, you can't trust people.
Yeah, that's you see, that's the thing though. And what if I'm okay, let's say I'm seeing many people, and the longer I go with you, I drop each person because I realize that you are able to fulfill most of these things, and it's now between you and maybe one or two other girls, right? And it's the fifth date, but I'm not quite there yet, And
I would have to walk away as a woman, because then by that I would know that you're playing games. That's what I would call it. Like, this man is playing games. Like, what's the problem? By the fifth date, and we're getting to know each other. Why? Where's this going? That's when we start asking those questions. That's why I say be honest with each other. Are you going to let the woman know that you're dating a lot of people? Then she can make a decision and say, okay, well, he's dating a lot of people, I'm gonna date a lot of men too.
I don't think most men are going to do that, especially if they like you, because I think they're trying to ensure that they make the right decision.
That's not the right decision. They're being dishonest.
No, it could just mean that I am a couple dates behind you. So let's just say for you, cutoff point is 5. Cutoff point for me might be 8. It might be 8 dates.
So then that's when the first date comes back in play, and you have to try to find these things out early, because that person will lead you on. That you think you're on the same page, and they're like, no, it's going to be date number 10. And you're like, no, date number 5.
But what I'm saying is, because we're dealing with people's emotions, right? I mean, this is the thing that I'm not understanding. who said it had to be date five? Like who wrote the book and said, you know what, by day five, date five, you know? Because suppose this man, suppose the person was hurt, and you know they're let's say they're not seeing other people and they like you, but they came out of a really painful experience emotionally. Because this is the thing, you know, women always think that men just want one thing. I mean, women always think. Nadira says dating is confusing. I agree with you, right? Women, okay, we're always the bad guys, like we're the vampire, you know, like we're always there to be taking something. But what if you know, I like you and I'm not seeing 10 other people, but I'm still not sure, you know? I'm like, I just, you know, I just want to be careful because the first time I was hurt, a woman really hurt me. I mean, she devastated me. I wasn't able to really date anyone for like 4 years after her. So I was just seeing multiple women, and I told them, look, I'm dating all of you. I'm not gonna lie to you. If you can't join the program, don't be drafted. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So it could be that the man is a couple dates behind you. Maybe in his head, it's date number 8. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think it's all about communication. You know, if you've been hurt, you can express that to somebody that you're dating so that they're not left in the dark. You know, and that's why I think it's so important for women to ask men a lot of questions, because if you don't, then they're gonna say, well, you didn't ask.
Yeah, I've actually used that. I've actually used it. I've actually said you didn't ask if I was sleeping with other people. I've actually said that.
Right. We really have to break it down and ask you guys a gazillion questions. And I find that if you ask a man a questions and he gets annoyed, ladies, run.
What?
Run.
Oh, wait. Why? What do you mean by that? Why should they run if they
I'm gonna
ask?
get annoyed if I ask you a question. That means you're hot tempered.
Or it could mean that he's not ready to answer that particular
Nah,
question.
nah. A mature man will answer in a proper way.
Hmm. Okay. All right. All right. I actually agree with that statement. I actually agree with
Yeah,
what you just said.
that's
That kind
bullshit.
of makes sense. I just think, for me, you know, on the behalf of men, I think women need to be a little bit more patient with us and give us a little bit more time.
I don't
Because,
think
you
it's
know,
dating. I think maybe after dating and you're thinking about marriage and stuff like that, I think women should give men more time. I don't think so much in the beginning of dating, because I mean, you have to give each other time to get to know each other. But in the
mhm,
beginning, when you're dating, you should try to get to know each other together, not while dating other people. You know,
okay. Wait, the dealer says money back guarantee, and also there are reviews. What kind of reviews, the dealer? What do you mean? I mean, I know, I've seen that affect relationships where Bobby is dating Susie, and back in the day, Bobby was a bit of a player, but Bobby's now at a point in his life where that's not what he wants, and women go to Susie and say, "Yo, Bobby's a player," you know what I mean? Like, you know, he did her and he did her and he did her, and it destroyed something that could have been really good because Bobby was no longer playing. Bobby had passed through. I think the thing is, the way what you're expressing is maturity, and I
right?
think we have mentioned that it's maturity. I mean, I'm sure that when you were 21, 20, 22, you didn't think like this, did you?
No, absolutely not. I thought
Right.
it was normal. I thought those things were normal, you know, for people to date a bunch of people. But now getting older, it's like it makes no sense. If you know that's the person that you like and you see a possible future with that person, what are you holding back for? Why are you wasting each other's time?
But let's see, that's why I say I think I kind of like the Jamaican thing where I meet you and I like you and I just go after you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You know, I mean, instead of, because one of the things that I think confuses men from the Caribbean, is these rules, because the rules don't seemingly make sense. You know, like I didn't understand the concept of a one night stand because that's not really something you hear Jamaicans talk about.
No.
You know, the experience I have had, and when I talk to other men, is that normally with a couple here, you meet each other, and the moment you are intimate, it means you're together, you're doing something. The first time I heard the concept of a one night stand was actually in New York City, and I was like,
The worst place to date.
yeah, yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. That was perhaps my strangest dating experience as a younger man. That was a very bizarre. Um, I mean, I had a situation of meeting somebody. We got together. We were supposed to meet the 2 nights later. Went to the club. She didn't turn up. She sent her friend. Her friend said, "Oh, so and so said, you're gifted. So, And I was like, what? And the person I was someone I actually liked. And then me being a Jamaican man, I was confused. I was like, okay, is she testing me? I mean, because that's the other thing. Women do a whole lot of testing.
Verse in New York City is hot.
But Burns, I just think what it is we're talking about different cultures and how we see these things. Because the thing that's confusing me is how you're so certain that the fifth date, because everybody is not, all of us don't work at the same, pace or level. So I'm trying to say, why is it that?
What I'm saying, Peter, is I think for me, by date number 5, I will know if that's somebody that I would like to continue dating.
Oh,
I
I
don't
get it.
know by date number 5. Like, okay, we have chemistry. I like him, and blah blah blah. He seems honest. I would know, see those characteristics, and that's why you really have to date. And when I date, means going out, seeing how they act in public, not in the house. That's not a date.
Mhm.
Outside, because you want to see if you're compatible with this person out of the house. You want to see if they behave in a certain manner. You want to see certain
Oh,
faults.
yeah.
You also want to see the faults to know if can you put up with that.
I get it. Vern's John Closet says no. It is fire, meaning New York. She's saying amazing place to date, a culture of all people. I kind of agree with that, sis, because as I said, like the first time I dated a Latino woman was me moving into New Jersey way back, yeah, and it was a very different experience. So I dated a Puerto Rican, a Dominican, then I dated this girl from Mexico. It was a very different kind of experience. So in that sense, yes, but I think what confuses us, is because getting prepared for this onslaught by yourself and the other women in the chat, right? They have specific times when they say, by date so and so, you really should know, or date so and so, you should know, or you look out for these particular traits. I kind of think a lot of it is about where you're at and what you want at that point in your relationship, in your life.
Right.
Most men,
Go ahead, Peter.
we always want sex.
All men.
That's our first thing. Most.
All men.
I'm not gonna say all. I'm just gonna say most. Most.
If women go on dates with men and don't think that that's what they want, they're living in La La Land.
I mean, is that a bad thing to want on a date?
No,
Right.
it's not bad.
And if you guys have fire and you click and you on the first date, and this is the thing though, I'm going to say this for most Jamaican men, if on the first date you connect sexually, right, and on the second and the third date, the Jamaican man, as I say, you're my woman. Yeah, with that.
Not American men. American men are going to think you're a hoe.
Why though? Okay, because doesn't that make the men hoes too? If that's the case, I mean,
No, they don't think so, but they lose that quality of the woman if the woman is sleeping with them on the first date, according to a lot of men in America.
Oh, I kind of get it. I mean, what they're saying is she's too easy.
Right. There's no more challenge for them. And you don't know where they stand if you're sleeping with them on the first date. You don't know if they want a relationship, whatever. Anything goes now. You're taking a big chance there.
So when would be a good time? Okay, not a good time.
By date number 6.
Date number 6, you can contemplate having.
Right. That by then you should get to know where this guy is going and what his real intentions are. It's all about the intentions. He can lie and lie, but I'm telling you, by date number 5 and 6, you can figure out his true intentions.
Yeah, but I think that the thing that I have to defend is that you seem to be implying that men generally just lie. I mean, I
You
don't know.
lie to get in our pants.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I kind of okay. I kind of was brought up to believe that in the process of dating, it's really the woman who decides the process, right?
Right.
It's not really the man. The men believe that we're hunting, but
We choose.
yeah, Nadira said, I'm going to join a convent."
Dating stuff is hard.
But so I'm saying I kind of think that it's really women who lead the way where dating is concerned, and I do know that sometimes men believe we can't be completely honest. It's like if I meet you and I like you, but I'm seeing Susie, it might not be in my best interest to say, "Hey, I'm actually seeing Susie. Do you mind?"
And that's where I got my number from, 5 or 6, because by then you would know if he's seeing somebody else.
How would
Maybe
you know? How would you know? How would you know? Give me
how
an idea.
you call him, call back 3 hours later. He probably out with Susie. Or the lack of attention, and him being busy. It's just you would know the vibe. The vibe changes. I'm telling you.
So maybe okay, maybe he's working. Maybe he didn't see the phone. I mean, the other day you shared something with me. I don't know if it's okay to share about calling someone and the hearing, noticing that the person only spoke to that person while they were driving. And I'm saying that could all be very innocent. I mean, I kind of think sometimes women read too much into the process. I think men are demonized. I think we're mostly more innocent than people think.
Yeah, we sometimes we overanalyze, but if your intuition feels it, it's probably true. I say
But,
women always go with your intuition.
but your intuition may be as a result of trauma, emotional trauma.
And that's where the communication comes in with that mature man. If he's mature enough to see that your insecurity and the over generalization, he can
Yeah.
say, "What's going on?" A
Mhm.
man who truly cares is going to ask you, "What's going on?" And then you can say, "Okay, based on my past, I've been dating men who they do this game, and I don't feel so secure. I called you and you didn't respond 3 hours later. What's going on?"
Mhm.
You remind me of what happened in the past. That's
Okay. All
where
right.
that connection comes in.
All right. I mean, I can. That sounds reasonable. I can
But
understand that.
most men, they don't do that. They're not mature.
I don't know if it's really about maturity. It's just that we as men, we are kind of we are wired different, and we are taught to deal with that kind of stuff in a
Yeah, but
very
Peter,
different
well, what
way.
I'm saying, if you really like that person, what does
Right.
it take to try to get to know why they have so much pain and why they're behaving in such a manner?
I mean, that's true, but I kind of find that most men get to that place when they start to travel, when their minds open, because we're not generally. All right, okay. I think women have an advantage emotionally because you are allowed to express that emotion growing up as children, right? Boys are taught that we have to be tough.
Zero said my peep game so quick. Yes, I pay attention to everything.
But I just kind of think, if we're being honest, men are kind of programmed to be tough and resilient, and that kind of stuff. So most men, and I don't think they're going to say, okay, why are you upset because I took a few hours to call you back? They're going to say, look, I was at work, or I didn't see the phone. And then you might say, but every time I call you, it takes hours to call you back. And I might say, yeah, but where I work, we're not allowed to really have our phone near us or whatever,
Okay,
right?
so then it's up to the woman to say, in the past, I've dealt with men who took forever to respond back to my phone call, and it was because they were cheating. And then that can create some type of dialogue.
Mhm. Okay, I get it. I get it. So in your mind, if we go beyond 5 dates and I start seeing someone else, I'm now cheating on you.
Not cheating on me because we're not exclusive, but you're seeing somebody else. Yeah.
So okay, so loyalty. When do you become exclusive?
That's a discussion that you have to have by date number 5 or 6. You got to say, where's this going? And that's the question that most people don't like to have. But it's important to have, because if you don't ask somebody nowadays where this is going, they're going to say, we ain't in no relationship.
Yeah, I have to admit that is actually true. I think with us men, I do think that one has to challenge. That's what I tell my sisters. I say you have to ask him point blank what's going on. What with it? Are we are we in a relationship? What with it? Are we friends? Are we
Where's it
friends with
going? What's wrong with
benefits?
this?
You know, the first time I heard that term, by the way, was in New York, friends with benefits. I was like, what? What does that even mean?
Again.
It was weird. I remember Susie was there. Susie laughed at. They all laughed at me. I was like, friends with benefits.
Hi,
What?
Susie.
How you doing? Oh no, just not a relationship. I kind of for me, I think the mentally the block for me is the specific date 5 or 6. And I'm saying we may be two different emotional creatures functioning at two different speeds. You get what I'm saying? I might be looking for things for you that I'm not necessarily into date 8. Date 8. So what happens then?
So what is the big deal with by day 5 or 6? That could be a month and a half based on how many times you go on a date for the week. What would be the big deal to say, what are you looking for? What else are you looking for?
I don't know. I mean, I would okay. I would like to say, and I don't want the ladies to kill me because I mean I seem to be the only man here. I would like to say that in the process of that dating, I think we need to have one night of intimacy, because that would also help me to seal the deal. I mean that will also help me to say, okay, all right, this is you know we are compatible in that sense also. But women tend to think that that's not a part of the negotiation. You get what I'm saying?
I mean, I understand where you're coming from. I think by date number 6, then that can be an option, because
Because
yeah,
it's
by then
possible,
you know where each other is going.
but it's possible that we both are not sexually compatible. It can happen. That it doesn't work. The chemistry is great otherwise, but that yeah, Susie, I need you on my side in this one, okay? I need you on my side. Um, it's possible. I mean, that's one of the things I mean, I don't know how honest we can be here, but okay, I have a friend who and I think I told you the story where he dated this young lady way beyond 5 dates, and then he asked her to marry him, and they got married. And on the night of their honeymoon, there's something that she did sexually that he truly enjoyed. And she said, I don't have to do this anymore because we're married. And she never did it again. 5 years later, they broke up because this was something that he really enjoyed.
Well,
You-
then she was being stubborn then.
Oh, she tricked him. She knew he liked this and she did it until she got what she wanted. So
A
I
lot of
can,
women do that. They do that into tricking the men to marry them. I have to
right.
admit, that's wrong.
Say that again. That's what?
That's wrong.
One more time.
That's right. That's right. That is so wrong.
I like that. Susie says, then you say we aren't an exclusive relationship. Vern said, what? What? Vern, that actually really happened to one of my very close friends. I mean, he eventually had to leave her. I can't tell you what it was, but
Wow.
the night of the honeymoon, she said, no, I'm not doing this anymore. It's nasty. I don't like doing it. I just did it so we could get married. She actually said those words to him, and he was furious.
Wow. See, that wasn't she wasn't willing to compromise.
Well, I mean, she got what she wanted, in the process. She got what she
Care about his feelings enough.
no, no, no.
That's not good.
But I because you see, I kind of see the benefits of dating in
Yeah.
that sense that you get to know each
I
other.
think so, Burns.
You know, yes, words. Yes, it was. That's what it was. And she said, "That's not. I'm never going to do that again." And she really just didn't do it until 5 years later. He couldn't take it anymore because that was something he
And
truly enjoyed. He ended up seeing his secretary, not his. They
was
said,
he was he like a good man overall?
"Yeah, seriously, it's good
See,
people."
she lost out on a good man. That's
Yeah,
and
most of my friends
that's
are
issue.
actually pretty good guys.
That's another
Yeah,
issue with women too. You miss out on a good guy because of being stubborn or just not willing to work. You got a relationship requires work.
but I think for me, what was wrong in that situation is that she deceived him. It would have been better if Nadira. Why is that funny? It's not funny. It's terrible. Look, it would have been better if she was from day one. She just said no. You get me? Um, because that's what I'm saying. I think Jamaicans say you buy puss in a bag. You know that saying. You buy puss in a bag. Because she pretended to be something that she was not, and it
Mm,
really created a horrific problem in their marriage. That's really why they broke up.
no. A lot of
That's
women
really
do
why they
that
broke up.
just to get the man to marry them.
Yeah,
I
and I.
know someone
Mhm.
who she did all that too to get the guy to marry her, and she stopped having sex. Peter's mouth dropped.
What? But there's no way that could work.
I
That
don't know what's going on in their marriage now. I mind my business. I don't talk to these people, but this is word around. I don't know if she has sex with the man. I think the only time she has sex is to procreate, to have a baby, but she just doesn't have sex with him.
that's but that's what I'm saying. You see, we too are victims. We and the thing is, we're normally people. I've seen some terrible things happen to some of my brothers. Okay, Vern's John Closet says some women don't like to do that, but that is the time to do it when you are married. Yes, yeah, Verns. But my problem with this Verns is that she did it right up until they got married. They had one of these conversations on one of their dates, and she said, "What do you like?" And he said, "Honestly, this is what I like. What do you like?" Kind of thing. And she did it until the night of their marriage. And I was like, "What? That is bizarre."
That's crazy.
You know. Well, the 5 date thing, I kind of get the logic of it. I kind of understand what you're saying. I can't say I fully but I do believe that there should be you can't just date forever. You
So
can't
what?
just
So what you're saying, Peter, is by date number 5, if you decide to sleep with the person and it's not good, then you're gonna have to reconsider.
yeah, because that's a really important thing in a relationship. Yeah, if that's not good,
That makes
you
sense.
know, and that's why I think most men have it right. Just get it out of the way. Just do it on date one, so you know exactly what's happening, and you don't waste each other's
No, 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 no. You should have sex with everybody else.
time.
No,
But that's a huge part of any relationship.
it
So if,
is.
if
But
there is no compatibility there, then it makes no sense. It makes absolutely no
not the
sense.
first date. No.
Yeah. I mean, and I've heard all kinds of, I have some really good female friends, and I've heard all kinds of horror stories. All kinds of horror stories. I, I, I couldn't have never say on YouTube, but I mean, stuff that I'm like, really? Like, one person said, uh, everything was going well, and then the first night they decided to do it. When the person undressed, she couldn't even find it. It was so small. She couldn't even. She was like, "What is this?" And I was, and she dated him a couple times after. And I'm like, "How? Why would you do that?" She said, "I didn't want him to feel bad." I'm like, but if you're not satiated in that, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I think what it is both. In terms of the dating thing, it depends on what's your aim and what's my aim. What are we both looking for at that point in time? Now, I could have walked into the relationship as a man just wanting what men generally want. We want some companionship. I'm not going to use the other term that you all are trying to make me use, but you might be looking for a relationship, and then over the course of dating, we realize that we really connect with each other, right? Or we can connect, and then when we get intimate, it's horrific. It just doesn't work. So I kind of think what you're saying is right, which is follow your gut and your instinct, right? Susan says, why communication and honesty is important. Yes, but you know what? This is something I read too that I wanted to bring up. Let me see. A lot of dating experts believe that people put on a mask to
Hmm.
date. They pretend to be something that they are not. And
They
I
do.
mean, I've been victim of that. I've seen that. You know, I back in the day, I remember dating this girl, and she was stacked. She was stacked, like stacked. You know what I'm saying? Understand?
Right.
Right? And the first time we decided to be intimate, she just kept taking stuffings out. It was not what I thought. It was like waste. I mean that to me that was deception. That was like, why would you do that? I mean, just let me. I think if the experts are saying, look, a lot of people who you're dating for even the 5 dates. That's why I'm saying why 5 dates, because even in the 5 dates, he could pretend to be. Look, I've had brethren borrow each other's car. One doesn't have a car. He's trying to date you, so he borrows the guy's car. He takes you on the dates on the cars until you something fine, and then when something, blessed one, what's up? What's going on? What's
Yeah,
going on,
but
sis?
Peter, what
Yeah,
I'm saying is by 5 dates, you should know if you want to continue dating that person. I didn't say you couldn't dump them. You can dump them.
yeah, yeah.
You can
After the 5 dates,
nah, this ain't gonna work. But after 5 dates, be, you should know that okay, I can see myself possibly with this person,
Mhm.
in the future. But you can still say, okay, this is not working out, and move.
Okay, the dates. I gotta ask this. Do you share? Do you guys go Dutch, or does he pay for everything?
I would go Dutch. I,
You
I
go.
I would always or even pretend to put my hand in my wallet so that he doesn't think I'm selfish.
Yeah. No, I'm just asking because sometimes, sometimes that becomes an issue. Like the concept of dating. I'm saying that itself becomes an issue. Some people say, okay, so we're going on it because this. I was brought up to think if I'm taking you out on a date, I'm going to pay. I'm the one who's going to be paying for those dates. Um, I would think that maybe by, and this is what I'm saying, by about, for me, about date 8, I might start asking you. I might start thinking, this could work. This could work. This could actually work. Um, but even in that process of dating, you can pretend to be something you're not, and I can pretend to be someone I'm not.
That's why you
So we
gotta
still
get to know the person.
right. It's like the Vern says what the first 3 dates Dutch. Okay, is that like a rule, Verns, for you, or is it considered a rule? I mean, actually can understand why women would want to go Dutch on the first 3 dates. I kind
Oh
of get.
yeah,
I
I
kind
would.
of get
I don't mind paying my half. I don't care.
that wasn't how I was brought up. I was
I'm just
brought
not
up.
paying for his on the first day. I'm not paying for his.
No, but that's what I'm saying. The way I was brought up, you're not to pay for anything.
Right.
What I'm saying. That's why I'm saying the thing in, like, in first world countries for me is a strange, because for many Jamaican men, um, but that's actually not true anymore. Like, that even that's changing, because I am meeting younger men who are saying, "No man, she have to pay for everything. She lucky she get this."
Because Jamaican men, the younger generation, that's how they are.
Yeah, she lucky she get this, so she have to pay. Like, really? Susie says, "Do they take their breast implants out for us?" Oh my God. I think the problem is when people date, you're dating around a visual concept and an idea, and you pretend to be something that you're not. And I
Yeah.
think what you're saying is, if the woman is smart enough, over 5 dates, and what happens in between, because I'd probably be calling you and you'd be calling me and stuff, you'd be able to pick up, okay, how much of this is really this person, and how much of it is not for this
So
person.
you gotta go out with the person, I don't mean going to the movies or going out to eat. Other things, do other things with them. Go to amusement park. You know, do stuff that require a lot of people around. That's when you really get to know someone.
Okay. All right. So what Vern's just said about going the Dutch the first 3 days. Um, Susie says dating has changed a lot after being in a marriage. It's a shock because they don't want to feel obligated.
It's
If the
scary.
man pays, then he expects dessert.
That's why it's important to go Dutch. Susie, go Dutch.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's
I get
a
it.
lot.
That's rough.
After date number two, most men want sex.
Well, I mean, I can understand that. I mean, because the truth is, we're going to want sex. To be honest, we're thinking about sex the first time we meet you. This is probably just how we are wired. My thing, though, is that if I guess maybe I am like, a different, kettle up. Because again, how I was brought up, my dad said, you're walking down the road, she walks on your inside, away
Yeah.
from you open the door for her. And my dad actually told my sisters, look at how he treats other women, not just you. So if he opens the door just for you, right? And I told my eldest this. If he opens the door just for you and closes it on the other women, he's a pretender.
That's why I said you got to take those dates outside.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Okay.
Around other people.
So you can see the person's real personality.
You'll see his how he treats the waiter. You'll really see who he is if you pay attention.
Yeah.
You know, that movie and dinner date, that's nothing. That's
Mm.
nothing.
Nadira says, truth is we thinking about sex too. We want to test run the product. Mom said, look at how he treats his mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's also like a very important thing. I
Yeah.
think, yeah, I really think I tell my female friends, look at how he deals with other women, not just you. Because if his attention is you, it means that his aim is to get you. So he's going to put on his best face. But look at how he treats you on his bad days, his good days. I mean, how does he treat other women with general respect? Kind of thing. But I'm also meeting, and this isn't when I was getting ready to do this, I spoke to a few women who are below 20, 18 to 20, and they brought a very interesting perspective because they were saying they want to date many men simultaneously,
Yeah.
until they find the man that they think is deserving of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The younger generation, they like that circle of dating. I thought that too, in my 20s, but in my 30s now it's different.
It's too much work.
It's too much work, right? And I can't you when if they when you're in your 20s, you want to have fun, and I don't blame them to circle a date because it's you're just having fun. You don't want to be too committed.
Right,
I think so. When you're in your 20s, you want to give it some time.
right. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. I kind of get that.
Yeah, but when you get to in your 30, you want to get married. You don't have time for the game. I don't have time for you seeing a lot of people. Do you like me or you don't like me? That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they see things a little differently because, like I said, you and I, when we spoke in the last one about women dating men who make less money, when I talk, a lot of the young men I speak to, they really think the woman should pay. Like this is something they believe she should pay. You know, I'm serious. Like they believe this. Because their reasoning is there are not enough eligible men, and there are more women. So the women should be happy that they have the
Well,
opportunity.
I would stay single then because you ain't getting my money.
It's so strange, but I mean, Susie said it. Susie said, for someone who just started dating now, it's kind of a shock. It's kind of, I couldn't imagine doing that. But then I never really dated young women. I think I told you, I like more mature women. I've always done that because it's
Yeah,
less stress.
maturity is key.
Yeah, yeah, it's less stress, and you don't have to lie to anyone. You just have, you just thought the truth. But I kind of get it because I guess really the the dating thing really is about information. That's
Yeah.
really what it's about.
No, and Peter, it doesn't take a long time to know if you like someone.
Yeah.
It does not take a long time. When people say that, they are lying. They don't want to like nobody.
Mm, yeah. 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 That makes sense too. That makes sense. My females friends tell me, um, Peter, they know if they want to sleep with you in the first meeting. Like they know. Like they know if there's a possibility that they'll give you some of the good. You know what I'm saying? In the first meeting. That's what my females friends tell me, that women tend to
Yeah.
know this.
So
You know. Um, so it's really to me the dating process is really the women who have the power in that situation. Because if I force you to date,
we have the power because you analyze the guy's behavior and you'll know if this man is true or not. If you take time to get to know him, you see his true intention because in the first couple of dates, they're gonna be phony.
mm,
Most men put on an act like they're sweet and they're not really sweet.
I'm sweet. I'm genuinely sweet. I'm
You
like
gotta
a genuinely sweet person.
get you gotta take time to get to know that.
Well, but I mean, I really am actually genuinely sweet. But I've been told that that's a problem.
Yeah, it's a lot of hidden agendas. People are not honest in the beginning. They'll tell you they're single and they have a wife at home.
That makes
you know,
that makes no sense to me, because I don't know how do you hide that. That
but
doesn't make
men do
sense.
it
That doesn't
because
make
they
sense.
probably deal with women who don't ask them questions or women who don't pay attention.
Vern's John Closet says, just be adults and let the person know what you are looking for. I agree with that. I
And
agree.
be honest.
Yeah, but the thing is, men are kind of taught to not be honest. We are taught that. I mean, I don't mean literally, but society tells us you really shouldn't be honest, because the truth is, most men, when they meet an attractive woman, they're thinking one thing. They're not thinking, oh my goodness, wow, I can see clearly now the rain is gone. We're not thinking that. We're kind of thinking, I think in most instances, you you think, I gotta hit this.
I
Seriously.
totally
Yeah.
understand that.
But society also tells us, right, that we are never supposed to say that to you. We're not supposed to say that. So you're kind of caught in a trap as a
You
man.
can change the narrative with your behavior. Your behavior doesn't have to show that.
I guess. I mean, but then I would be deceiving you if I said I'm not a. You get what I'm trying to say to you? I mean, if
I mean, every woman, every mature woman who's smart knows that that's the first thing on a man's mind. If you go on a date with a guy and you do not think that that's what he wants, then you are, like I said before, living in la la land, and you are trying not to really believe what you think. And then after that's what he wants, after you go on a date, you get to know him to see if that's the only thing he wants now, or is he willing to take this a little further to get to know me and build a future with me.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I get that. Nadira says, "Yo, man, don't want to end up a Tyler Perry card." Susie says, "So true." Susie says, "Women are romantic. Men think mathematical."
Yeah, they're very calculated, Susie. Oh my gosh.
I don't think, man. I think women overestimate us. I don't think men are. I think what happens to most men when we fall for a woman is that the initial attraction is sexual, but we are told to never say that. Because remember, in the last 10 to 15 years, the world has changed. Me too, all these things. So men are confused. We're not quite sure. Vern said, be honest. But
Yeah.
then we are kind of told to not be honest. I'm not supposed to meet you and say, you say, Peter, what are you looking for? And I'm like, man, I would just love to bang you. I'd really enjoy doing that.
So,
I'm told I can't say that.
so then that's where the disconnect comes with dating. And women, we gotta do all this MacGyver work to get to know you guys to see if you're really true.
But isn't that's what I'm saying? Remember when we started, right? We were saying, Susie and Blessed One. We were saying at the beginning of this conversation that Jamaican men, in the Jamaican society, if I see you and I like you on the road, I'm just gonna walk up to you and say, "Well, I like you know you look good. Trust me, your body say one." But in the first world, we're told you cannot do that. So I mean, how do I get to date you? And then if I am fortunate enough that we're at the point where we're about to date, of course I'm attracted to you physically. That's why I went on a date.
I think the first world has too many access to things. That's where the problem is with dating.
You mean too much BS? Too
Yeah,
much BS.
the internet and a lot of different make it. It's so many different factors to for people to have so many options when it comes to dating.
Blessed One says, she says, why are relationships not lasting these days? Because of the same thing. I think because there is too much confusion. Because men are being told not to be men, and women are being told that every man is a calculating. I mean, I kind of think, man, I'm not going to say that we're not that bright because that's not really what I'm trying to say. I think we're not very complex creatures where that is concerned. If a man calls to you on the road, it's because he finds you attractive. I don't think he's trying to hassle you. I don't think he's trying to. I mean, like it's so extreme now that if you and I are working in the same workplace and you are very attractive and I look at you for too long, it's harassment. So I think for men, dating has become a very complex. It's like chess, and we're not chess players.
It's
Not
very
with
complex because the dating that I see nowadays is hi, how are you? Did you eat? It's like, what's up with this small talk? Where's this going? It's bullshit to me. Like, get to the point. What do you want?
but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying we are told to never tell you what we want.
But
So I mean, this
I would
that within itself creates a huge problem.
see. I would prefer someone just being honest.
Mhm.
I think that's what I said. Men got to change that narrative. Forget society. Just be you, and just be honest.
But how do we change that?
Just be honest on the date. Say, I really like. I think you're beautiful, and I, as a man, I would like to get in your pants. But I know that you're gonna be like, what?
Mhm.
But I want to see where this is gonna lead to.
So
Just
why does she? But this is the question: if most women know that's what we want, why say what?
we already
That's
know what you
honesty.
want.
But then why do women pretend? Why do women say, "Yeah, what?" I mean, I've had female friends say, "Peter, he told me that's what he wants," and I'm like, "But you know that's what he wants."
Those are the women who are being immature. Those are the immature women. The one who likes to play games. Because if you are a grown woman and you don't know that that's what a man wants, then you're just playing games, just like the guy.
Right? Are you crazy? Susie
Right.
says social media puts a strain on relationships. I think that makes it hard to stay in any relationship. Susie, what do you mean by that? I think I understand, but can you elaborate exactly what do you mean? Blessed One says too business-like, formally independent, don't care attitude, not enough true love. Well, it seems love is not enough anymore, Blessed One. I mean, it seems
Love is
it's
not
all
enough.
about different things. It's very different now. It's all about the women think the men are calculating, and the men. I don't think we calculate much.
I
I think
think I think men really think that women don't like the truth. If you try it, you never know what's gonna happen.
it's not that we think; it's what we are taught. We are taught. Everything around us tells us you cannot tell her that she's attractive.
Well,
But
you guys, I'm telling you, you got to change that narrative to change our views of what we think dating should be like.
I'm gonna share something with you. When I started to tour Germany, I was my manager at the time. She was female. She was female, and herself and myself and two other female German artists were having a conversation, and then we got around to dating. And they said to me because when I landed in Germany, there was no shortage of women who wanted to date me. Like I didn't understand what was going on. And I asked, I said, why is it that so many women, I mean, I think I'm okay looking, but why is it that so many women are so gung ho to be with me? And they said, you know what? Because German men have become so polite, they never make a move. But a Jamaican man is just going to say and say, "Oh, baby, you look good." Right? So, and when I spoke to the German men, I realized that this was actually the truth. Like they were so, like they wouldn't look too long at a woman, and I was like, "But boss, she look good. Why wouldn't you?" Oh, because it's not polite. I'm like, what are you talking about? That's insane. We are suppressing what is natural in us. I'm not saying,
Culture.
but that culture is counterproductive. Men have to be men, women have to be women. I'm not saying that we're not equals. I'm just saying we are programmed in a particular way, and this is why I think a lot of men end up lying because we are told. I should never say to Susie, I would like to get intimate with you because we're told this is wrong. So there are these crazy games that are being played, and I think, and that's why I said even in the dating process, that's why I can't come up with a number. Even in the dating process, what's happening is that I can't be completely honest with you. I can't tell you exactly what I'm thinking or feeling. I can't even touch you. I can't even put my hand on you. It might be considered a sexual assault, if you get what I'm saying. So it's crazy.
Yeah.
Susie says too easy access and too many desperate women putting pics up and flirting in messenger. Could go
That's
on.
true.
That is actually very true.
That's true.
I find that when I look at Instagram now, the more dress covered the woman is, the more attractive I tend to find her because
Yeah.
it's kind of easy to see women naked now. It's no big deal. And this is the other thing, and that's the counter argument because we're seeing all these naked women, but you can't touch them and you can't say anything to them, or it's sexual harassment. And I think that's why dating has become so complex because men can't be men, and as a result, men are deceptive because we can't really say what we are thinking because we are told you cannot tell her you would like to have intercourse with her. We are literally told this, and that's really what we want to do. So, right at the very beginning of the process, I mean, unless we're a very mature man, say in his late 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and I've done all of that running around. But for younger men, this must be a very complex and confusing world. It's just like the concept of friends with benefits, which I think only one friend is benefiting in that situation. I don't think that can work. I think someone is going to get hurt in that situation.
Right.
Two people can't be intimate consistently over a period of time. One person is going to develop some kind of connection to the other person. You know, um, I do. I never even thought about that, Susie. I really, you're right. I think social media is really creating a lot of issues for us. Susie says, in the workplace, that's considered harassment. And that's what I'm saying. That's also crazy. If I work in a company with 2,000 people and 1,500 are women, I'm probably going to find a few of them attractive and a few of them might find me attractive. What do you do then? Because back in the day, that's where most people met their dates. It's either people who live in the community with you,
Yeah.
people you worked with, or people you went to high school with. You know, so I mean, it's I think it's become very, very for many men very confusing, and that's why you think we're lying. Oh, I'm not saying that some of us actually does lie. That's the truth. Some of us are just lying, right? But I also think some of us are confused because we're not sure. What do we say? How do I say to you if I'm meeting you in a first world environment and I like you? How the heck do I even get to date you because I can't even say to you I find you attractive, or it could be harassment. And remember what we said at the beginning? It's only harassment if you don't like me,
Right.
right? So it's very strange. Any last words?
Oh, for me, Peter. Oh, I'm sorry. I was reading the comments. Susie's comments. She worked in a mail for years, in an all mail for years. So I was like a fly on the wall. I learned a lot. You know.
Anyway, yeah.
Dating is hard nowadays. It's a challenge. I mean, and it's supposed to be fun. I think dating is very fun, but some people make it complicated. You know, they're not honest, they don't communicate. But I think for women, you just got to ask the right questions and pay attention to his actions. Do they match what he says? If it doesn't, then you know if you should continue dating this person or not. It's like we have to constantly make good judgments about our own self. And it's not really about the guy, it's just about us, you as a person, and vice versa. It's about you. But have fun.
I get it. Susie, what were some of the things you heard as a fly on the wall with your male the men around you? I mean, what were some of the things? I really love for you to just type a few of them in the chat before we close off. Um, I think dating is a cultural thing, and like I said, Jamaicans don't really date. I mean, I think the new generation of Jamaicans, the ones who are doing well financially, they are dating, right? But I don't even think it's dating in the traditional sense of the word. I mean, I've known people their first date is they go to a weekend party together in a hotel room. So that's kind of like I'm like I don't think that's really the idea of a date. It's kind of different. Um, I, I I think though for men, I don't think men have like a number in their head as to when they become loyal. I kind of think it's about chemistry and people getting together. I think the problem is that men are not allowed to be honest in a very honest way. They can't be honest. They're not. They're told, you know, you can't say to a woman, "Damn, baby, you looking good." You can't. You could do that 20 years ago. You can't do it now. It's going to be sexual harassment. And you are not going to meet the woman that when she says, "What are you looking for?" Your brain is going to say, scream, tell her the truth because your lines is saying something, but your brain is saying, you cannot tell her what you're actually looking for at this moment. Because at this moment, what you're looking for is physicality. You get what I'm saying? She said, male dump, okay, church youths date. What do you mean by that, blessed one? Sister said, married guys do things and say things that their wives would never know. Oh, I think most of the time they forgive him. Okay, all right, okay, all right. I just think I get this the 5 to 6 dates. I understand the logic of what you're saying, and it seems to make sense. But I kind of think men tend to get there either much faster or much slower. I kind of think men know almost instantly. I really want to be with this person physically, and I kind of think that we're caught in a trap. Like men are really caught in a vice grip. Because I mean, if you go to the Instagram feed, as you know, there's so many naked women in Instagram that you're like, what the heck is this, right? But if I go on the road and I see a woman walking around in very short shorts, she's very attractive, she's banging, I can't say to her if I'm in New York City, you look great, because she could call the police on me for harassment. So my point is, how then do we date? How do we even meet to date? If I can't say to you right there and then, you're beautiful, you look great, how are we meeting? Because I think, honestly, it's much more dangerous for me to be meeting people on the internet.
Mhm.
That's my personal opinion. And by the way, we never discussed that. Internet dates. Because I hear that's a thing now. And I'm like, how does that work? How do I date you on the internet? I don't know what I'm dating,
Mhm.
you know? So I think the deception is on both sides. So in this case, I think women win again.
We still winning. Woo!
Again, I think women won this one. Because what you're saying makes sense. I get it. I might have been the wrong representative here because I'm Jamaican and we really don't do a lot of dating in the first world sense of the term dating. You know, um, Susie says I have too many stories to tell. You should write a book. Write a tell all.
Right?
You make a lot of money. Everyone, thank you so very much for stopping by for He Said, She Said. Next week, Thursday, we'll be on Vivakolor, Viva Color. So, and he says, YouTube, if you have not joined her yet, please hit that subscribe button. Go check her out. She has some great um, vlogs, and I love her vlogs. Her vlogs are very, very cool. You're gonna like it. And if you have not subscribed to this channel as yet, what are you waiting on? Go subscribe. Go subscribe. We have a series that we're doing now on my channel. We're doing women in sports. So we have some great sports vlogs. If you're into sports, you can go check them out. I'm just doing all kinds of stuff now. I'm just doing whatever I feel like doing. Susie, thank you for being here. Blessed One, thank you for being here. Nadira X, Jaden. I see some people are here, but they didn't want to say anything. Thanks for stopping by. Let us know in the comments who won. Who do you think won this round? Who do you think won the round? I think I kind of can see that maybe
women won.
Maybe women won this time, but but let me know what you think, and let's know if there are any other topics that you'd like us to myself and Queen Alecia discuss. He said, she said, man versus woman. The battle of the sexes that continues for.
Yeah, we did.
It's not fair though, because there was only maybe one other man here with me, so
we need more men.
We need more men. But thank you for making it. He said, she said. This is Peter Lloyd. From Peter Lloyd, we're signing out. Like I said, please go check out Alicia's channel. It's Vivakolor. The color is spelled with a K. Go check her out. She's remarkable. If you have not subscribed, please go and subscribe to her channel. If not, please go and also subscribe to my own. And go stream my music. Thank you, guys. I love all of you. Thank you very much.
Guys, see you next week.
You win, you win, you win.
Bye, everyone.